Hello there, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, and welcome back to the Talos Principle. And where we had previously left off, we had completed World A3 and we had actually picked up 2 stars in that world. And that was technically where it was first introduced. There can be more than 1 star in a single world, and that can be really frightening, because one could be somewhat easy to find and the other one could be a little bit more complex, as was perfectly demonstrated in the previous video. One thing we also did, there's this empty pedestal right here which once held this object, which is called a connector. We unlocked that, and this right here, we are also going to unlock. This oddly perplexing cube-shaped thing, which is not a box. The game, I cannot stress this enough, the game says it's not a box, and we kind of have to obey the word of God right there. So, World A4 has only 1 star and has 4 puzzles. All of them involving connectors, as you can no doubt tell. So let's get on with it.
Let me ask you a question. You don't have to answer, it's purely rhetorical. How do you define fun? Do you like blowing stuff up? What if there were, say, a video game with no guns, nothing to destroy? Could you still find enjoyment or conflict without an enemy? What if the enemy were your own mind?
Well, if there were no physical enemies inside the game world, then I would probably just start punching walls for a while, and yeah, that would teach that wall. Also, another computer terminal with a couple more files. So, as per tradition, we're going to open up all of them and add them to our journal, our diary of sorts, where we can potentially go back and read all these. I'm kind of thinking maybe at the end of this playthrough I could just go and read all the texts if I so desire, but it would be basically like reading a tome at that point. Also, this world looks extremely beautiful. I can also zoom in with the Z key to get a closer look at all sorts of things. I don't think I actually explained this in the previous videos. And another thing about previous videos is that in the very first 2 sessions that I actually recorded of this game, apparently Fraps decided that it should record my mouse as well, and I forgot I had that unchecked, like the hide the cursor option, which is a little bit of a blunder on my part, but now the mouse should no longer be visible, unless I inadvertently just made it visible again, in which case, I'm sorry. Also, I'm saying the word also a lot, I should really stop doing that. You cannot exactly go very far in this world. In some cases you'll end up at like cliffs like these, and you could probably see like little beaches down there, for instance. I mean, I could technically go over there, if the game would allow me. Instead, you kinda just die in mid-air and get teleported back to where you spawned, and it's pretty unfortunate in terms of the exploration factor. I said explanation first instead, didn't I? Okay, let's move on. Let's just rectify this error and listen to Sam talk some more, shall we?
Jesus Christ, Alan! I thought you patched this glitch in beta. Hold on, let me fix this server. Yeah, that should do it.
That is only the best method of solving any glitches inside your server. So we're gonna run past all of these puzzle rooms. As I said before, there's only 4 puzzles, and in fact these puzzles take very little amount of time. If you just want to do the puzzles only, you could probably complete this world in like less than 5 to 7 minutes. But there's also a time capsule over here which we should probably just listen to.
The answer that came to me again and again was play. Every human society in recorded history has games. We don't just solve problems out of necessity. We do it for fun. Even as adults. Leave a human being alone with a knotted rope, and they will unravel it. Leave a human being alone with blocks, and they will build something. Games are part of what makes us human. We see the world as a mystery, a puzzle, because we've always been a species of problem solvers.
Very insightful indeed, Miss Alexander Drennan. There's actually a QR code over here which is kind of relatable to the character that speaks through that. It's by Sheep, female voice that speaks from the abnormalities. It speaks with a different tone to the other wretches in this place. What do you mean, other wretches? I mean, we didn't even get a chance to talk, and already they're talking crap about us. very unfortunate. Unless they're not talking about us, and maybe the other abnormalities are simply bombs. Yeah, they tried to converse with bombs, and well, let's just say the group meeting did not go exactly well. The bombs just ended up hoarding all the donuts, and these are greedy little bastards, aren't they? This is a connector! It is a tripod-shaped object with a crystal in the center. Connectors can be used to connect lasers. You will be using these a lot. In almost every puzzle after this world, there's almost always going to be a gimmick with a connector. They are omnipresent, and it's not bad, but I kind of get tired of using connectors after a while, I'll be honest. If there's one thing that I can comment on that I don't really like about this game is that once you get past like some of the earlier ones, the jammers often disappear and you're left to use connectors quite often. It's not something I usually prefer that much. But I don't know, we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll come across a couple of puzzles in the future that don't involve connectors, and I might enjoy those a little bit more. It's not that they're a bad thing. I cannot stress this enough. As I said already, it's not a bad thing, but I kinda get tired of connecting the lasers. Especially if the lasers are sort of part of problems where they kinda intersect with other different colored lasers, and that can be extremely annoying, actually. But this is the second puzzle. There's a connector, a stationary one, up there. You will occasionally come across these, and I believe those can use pretty much any color coding, actually. And pick up the sigil just like that. So once again, we have unlocked a new item, and we are already halfway through all of the puzzles, minus the star, of course, which we will be tackling last. Don't cross the streams! Ghostbuster reference! Anyway, you can probably see the problem right here. The lasers are crossing the streams. And technically you can actually just block them with your own body like this, but as soon as you move out of the way of the laser stream, then it will go back to its original form. Now, as is all the puzzle right here, this is where the connector is for the blue laser. So what you do is you take it around, you connect it with the source beam, you connect it with the panel, and you place it right back here, and that opens the door. But there's also some QR codes, which you could probably read by pausing the video. I'm gonna try and make it a little bit more easy to read, so that way they're not overlapping the codes itself, because, well, it's white and black text over white and black markings, which might make it a little less legible, in my opinion.